Imagine this. You've just finished a conversation, and instead of feeling connected or uplifted, you're left feeling utterly drained, as if all your energy has been siphoned away. You're not alone in this experience. We've all encountered individuals whose presence seems to cast a long shadow over our spirits, leaving us to wonder, why are some people just so hard to get along with? These are the conversations that leave us feeling diminished, questioning our worth, or doubting our perceptions. In today's discussion, we're diving deep into the heart of this emotional labyrinth, exploring the 7 types of most difficult people to get along with. The first type of difficult person we often encounter is the critic. Imagine you've spent hours preparing a presentation for work, pouring your heart and soul into every slide, only to have someone immediately point out the smallest typo or question your entire approach. This person isn't looking to offer constructive feedback. Their comments are often laced with a tone of superiority, leaving you feeling deflated rather than motivated to improve. It's like no matter what you do, it's never quite good enough for them. Or picture yourself excitedly sharing news of a new hobby or interest with a friend, only to be met with a barrage of skepticism. Why would you waste your time on that? They might ask. Or, don't you think you're a little too old to be starting something like that? Their words cast a shadow over your enthusiasm, turning what should have been a moment of shared joy into a trial where you're left defending your passions. Critics also love to make their presence felt in family gatherings. You might find yourself at a dinner table, sharing your plans for the future, only to have a relative dissect every potential risk, focusing solely on the negative outcomes. They wrap their criticism in the guise of concern, but the underlying message is clear. They doubt your judgment and capabilities. In relationships, the critic can be particularly draining. Imagine trying to share details of your day, only to have your partner critique your actions or decisions in every story. You should have said this instead, or, why didn't you handle it that way? Are common refrains. Instead of feeling supported and understood, you're left second-guessing your every move, feeling smaller and less confident in your own life. Dealing with the critic requires a mix of resilience and strategy. It's about learning to sift through their words for genuine advice, while also protecting your sense of self-worth. Remember, criticism often says more about the critic's own insecurities and need for control than it does about your choices or actions. It's a delicate balance, recognizing when to take feedback on board and when to let it roll off your back, ensuring that your self-esteem and enthusiasm for life remain intact. The second type of difficult person we often find ourselves entangled with is the complainer. These are the individuals who seem to carry a cloud of negativity with them, always ready to rain on any parade. Picture starting your day with a positive mindset, only to encounter a colleague who spends the morning listing every single thing that's wrong with the office, from the coffee quality to the workload. Their relentless focus on the negative can quickly sap the energy from the room, making it harder for you to maintain your own positivity. Now, imagine you're catching up with a friend over lunch, hoping for some lighthearted conversation. Instead, you find yourself on the receiving end of a monologue about everything that's going wrong in their life. While it's natural to want to support friends through tough times, when the grievances are endless and repetitive, with no action taken to change their circumstances, it becomes draining. Your role shifts from being a supportive friend to an unwilling audience to a never-ending stream of complaints. Family gatherings, too, can be overshadowed by the complainer in the group. They might dominate conversations with grievances about relatives not present, politics, or neighborhood issues, turning what should be a joyful reunion into a venting session. This constant negativity can strain family dynamics and leave everyone feeling tense and uncomfortable. In a relationship, being with a partner who is a chronic complainer can feel like you're living under a dark cloud. Simple activities, like planning a weekend getaway, become fraught with complaints about the destination, the cost, or the travel time. Instead of enjoying the anticipation of a shared adventure, you're left trying to navigate their negativity, which can dampen the entire experience. Dealing with the complainer involves setting boundaries and steering conversations towards more positive or constructive topics. It's important to acknowledge their feelings, but also encourage them to find solutions or to focus on the positives in their lives. Sometimes, just being aware that their negativity affects others can prompt a complainer to reflect on their behavior and hopefully make a change. Remember, while empathy is valuable, preserving your own mental well-being is equally important. The third type of difficult person that often crosses our paths is the narcissist. This individual thrives on admiration and lacks empathy for others, creating challenges in both personal and professional relationships. Imagine being in a team meeting where you're excited to present an idea you've been working on for weeks. As you begin to share, a narcissistic coworker interrupts, steering the conversation towards their own achievements and ideas, barely acknowledging your contributions. Their need to be the center of attention overshadows your moment, leaving you feeling invisible and undervalued. In social settings, engaging with a narcissist can be equally disheartening. Picture attending a party where you meet someone who seems charming and confident at first. However, as the conversation unfolds, it becomes clear that they're only interested in talking about themselves. Your attempts to share experiences or thoughts are quickly redirected back to their achievements, experiences, and perspectives. The imbalance in the exchange leaves you feeling like nothing more than an audience to their self-adulation. Within the family, the dynamics can become even more strained when dealing with a narcissistic relative. Family gatherings that should be about togetherness and support turn into platforms for them to dominate the conversation, often at the expense of others. Attempts to share news about your life or achievements are met with one-upmanship or dismissive comments, as they redirect praise and attention to themselves, making it difficult to feel valued or heard within your own family circle. Dealing with a narcissist requires understanding that their behavior is rooted in their own insecurities and need for validation. While it's important to set boundaries and communicate your needs, it's also crucial to recognize that their capacity for empathy and change may be limited. Protecting your self-esteem and seeking support from friends, family, or professionals can help you navigate the complex emotions that come with these interactions, ensuring that your own well-being remains a priority. The fourth type of challenging personality we encounter is the controller. This person has an insatiable need to dictate not just their own life, but the lives of those around them, often believing they know what's best for everyone. Imagine you're planning a simple outing with friends, and you're excited about the collective freedom to choose where you go. However, the controller in the group insists on dictating every detail, from the destination to the departure time, leaving little room for input from anyone else. Their need for control stifles the spontaneity and joy of the group activity, turning what should be a fun outing into a regimented mission. In a professional setting, working with a controlling colleague can be stifling. Picture being on a project where you're full of ideas and eager to contribute creatively. Yet, at every turn, this colleague undermines your suggestions, insisting on their way as the only way forward. Their micromanagement not only dampens your enthusiasm, but can also hinder the project's potential for innovative solutions, leaving you feeling undervalued and frustrated. Within the family, the controller manifests as the relative who insists on organizing every family event down to the minutest detail, often ignoring the preferences and desires of others. Family gatherings become a reflection of what they deem appropriate, leaving little space for others to contribute or express themselves freely. This overbearing control can lead to tension and resentment, overshadowing occasions meant for unity and love. In romantic relationships, being with a controlling partner can be deeply suffocating. Imagine wanting to spend a quiet weekend doing something you love, only to have your partner plan it out with activities they prefer, disregarding your interests. Their constant need to control where you go, who you see, and what you do can leave you feeling trapped, eroding the foundation of trust and mutual respect that healthy relationships are built on. Dealing with a controller involves a delicate balance of asserting your own needs and boundaries while trying to understand the insecurities driving their behavior. It's important to communicate openly, expressing how their need for control impacts you, and to seek compromises that respect both parties' autonomy. Remember, healthy relationships, whether personal or professional, thrive on mutual respect and freedom, not on dominance and submission. The fifth type of challenging individual we often encounter is the complainers. These are the people who seem to have a talent for spotting the cloud in every silver lining, often vocalizing their dissatisfaction about myriad aspects of life without seeking solutions. Imagine you've just started a new job, filled with enthusiasm and ready to make a positive impact. However, you're seated next to a coworker who spends their days lamenting everything from the office temperature to the brand of coffee in the break room. Their constant negativity begins to erode your initial excitement, making it a challenge to stay motivated. Or consider a scenario where you're planning a group vacation, a task that should be full of anticipation and joy. Yet one friend consistently complains about every proposed destination, accommodation option, and even flight times without offering any constructive alternatives. Their endless grievances cast a pall over what should be an exciting planning process, dampening the group's overall spirit. Family gatherings, too, can be marred by the complainers. Picture a holiday dinner meant to celebrate togetherness, yet dominated by a relative who grumbles about everything from the food preparation to perceived slights from years past. Instead of cherishing these moments of unity, the air becomes heavy with discontent, affecting everyone's ability to enjoy the occasion fully. In romantic relationships, having a partner who is a chronic complainer can place a significant strain on the bond. Envision trying to share a peaceful evening together, only to have it overshadowed by your partner's complaints about their day, the state of the world, or even the relationship itself, without any effort to address the underlying issues or focus on the positives that do exist. This relentless negativity can create a barrier to intimacy and mutual happiness, turning what should be a source of support and love into a wellspring of stress and dissatisfaction. Dealing with the complainers involves a delicate balance of empathy and assertiveness. While it's important to listen and offer support, it's equally crucial to encourage a shift towards solution-focused thinking. Sometimes, setting boundaries around negative conversations or gently steering discussions toward more positive or constructive topics can help mitigate the impact of their complaints. Remember, while it's natural to encounter frustrations in life, dwelling solely on the negatives without taking action only amplifies dissatisfaction, making it vital to seek out the silver linings together. The sixth type of difficult person we often encounter is the envious. These individuals struggle to find joy in others' successes and may even harbor resentment towards those who achieve or possess what they desire. Imagine you've received a well-deserved promotion at work, something you've been working towards for months. You share the news with a friend, expecting support and excitement. Instead, you're met with lukewarm congratulations and subtle jabs about how lucky you are, implying that your achievement was less about hard work and more about fortune. This reaction tarnishes what should be a moment of pure joy, leaving you feeling guilty for your success rather than proud. Or picture a scenario where you've finally purchased your first home, a milestone you're eager to celebrate with family and friends. Yet, at your housewarming party, one guest can't seem to stop pointing out flaws or comparing your new home unfavorably to theirs or someone else's, their envy casting a shadow over what should be a festive occasion. Instead of basking in the warmth of your achievement, you find yourself defending it, which saps the joy from the celebration. Within the realm of social media, envy can be particularly insidious. You post about a recent vacation or a personal milestone, hoping to share a piece of your happiness with your circle. However, the responses from some are veiled with envy, from passive-aggressive comments to outright dismissals of your experience. What was meant to be a shared celebration becomes a source of anxiety and second-guessing the decision to share your joy at all. In relationships, envy can erode the foundation of mutual support and happiness. Imagine your partner achieves something they've been passionate about, but instead of feeling happy for them, you feel overshadowed and resentful. This envy, if left unchecked, can create a rift between you, turning every achievement into a competition rather than a cause for mutual celebration. Dealing with envy requires a mix of self-reflection and open communication. Recognizing and addressing your own feelings of envy can prevent them from poisoning your relationships. When faced with the envy of others, responding with empathy and understanding rather than defensiveness can sometimes help to diffuse the situation. It's also important to remember that someone else's envy is more about their insecurities and struggles than about your actions or achievements. Striving for a perspective that celebrates abundance and mutual success can help transform envy from a source of division to an opportunity for growth and deeper connection. The seventh type of difficult person that we often come across in our daily lives is the gossip. This individual thrives on spreading rumors and sharing private information about others, often under the guise of concern or just sharing news. Imagine you're at work and you overhear a colleague whispering about another team member's personal struggles. This gossip not only invades the privacy of the person being discussed, but also creates an atmosphere of distrust and unease, making you wonder what might be said behind your back. Consider a situation where you're catching up with friends at a cafe. The conversation quickly devolves as one friend begins to spill secrets about another friend who isn't present. Instead of enjoying a pleasant catch-up, you find yourself in the uncomfortable position of participating in or listening to harmful gossip. This behavior not only damages relationships, but also leaves you feeling guilty and complicit in hurting someone else, even if you haven't contributed to the conversation. In family settings, the gossip can be particularly divisive. Family gatherings that should be about unity and catching up on each other's lives can become breeding grounds for gossip, with certain relatives keen to share updates about others. This can lead to family members feeling judged and unwelcome, eroding the sense of trust and safety that family bonds are supposed to provide. Dealing with the gossip involves setting clear boundaries about what kind of conversations you're willing to engage in. It's about gently but firmly changing the subject or expressing discomfort with discussing others' private matters. Encouraging open, honest communication and focusing on topics that enrich your relationships rather than degrade others can help create a more positive and supportive environment. Remember, the strength of our relationships is often measured by the respect and kindness we show towards everyone, not just those present in the conversation. In our journey through the complex landscape of interpersonal relationships, we've navigated the challenging terrains shaped by the critic, the complainer, the narcissist, the controller, the know-it-all, the envious, and the gossip. Each of these personalities brings its own set of challenges, affecting our emotional well-being and the dynamics of our relationships in profound ways. Understanding these difficult types is not just about labeling or judging, but about gaining insights into human behavior, which can empower us to foster healthier, more fulfilling connections with those around us. Recognizing these traits in the people we encounter allows us to approach our interactions with empathy and strategy, armed with coping mechanisms that can protect our mental health and nurture positive relationships. It's about setting boundaries where necessary, communicating openly and honestly, and choosing to focus on the growth and positivity that can emerge from even the most challenging encounters. Now, I encourage you, our insightful audience, to share your stories. Have you encountered these difficult types of people in your own life? How have you navigated these interactions, and what lessons have you learned along the way? Your experiences are invaluable, not just as personal reflections, but as beacons of guidance for others navigating similar situations. By sharing our stories, we create a tapestry of collective wisdom, a source of support and understanding for all who find themselves walking this intricate path of human relationships. Thank you for joining me on this exploration of the 7 types of most difficult people to get along with. May your journey through the maze of human interactions be enlightened by empathy, resilience, and the shared wisdom of our collective experiences. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more insights into understanding ourselves and those around us better. Together, let's continue to grow, learn, and thrive in the complexity of our human connections.